Okay, so I'm Tori, and this is Carissa, and welcome to TorieTalk.
And this episode is Lady Likeness
We are going to talk about the book Animal Farm.
by George Orwell.
He has this thing against the Soviet Union, and he doesn't like their government.
So he made a book about it, and it's about a farm which is supposed to represent the whole Soviet Union, and like different people from it are the different characters. And our first character is Jones, the farm owner that is a very bad person.
Yeah, he barely feeds them at all, and he makes them work like way too much, and so they don't.
Drinking all the time.
Yeah, and he drinks all the time. So they don't like him at all. At all. None. So they decide. Well, Old Major, the top boar is a male pig, by the way.
Calls a animal meeting, like family almost, and he says he has a dream or a vision that a rebellion's gonna happen, and then a couple days later he dies. And a week later, one day, Jones doesn't feed them at all.
So all of the animals decide to go to the place where they keep all the food, and they're starving, right? They haven't been fed all day, and so they go in there and just start eating the food. And Jones gets in there and he tries to yell at him to get out, but they just chase him out. So
they took over the farm.
Yeah, and now they're in charge of the farm.
Well, the pigs are. They put the pigs in charge because they were the smartest.
Well, they didn't necessarily put the pigs in charge, but
kind of just took over because they were the smartest.
And so the pigs started learning how to read and stuff. So Snowball, he was one of the boars, and he kind of took charge but he was a nice pig because he
wanted to help them.
Yeah, and he split up the work evenly. And he fed them a lot, actually. They liked the feeding they got from him.
Yeah. No one worked harder than anyone else. They were all equal.
And then they made commandments. He made up commandments so that they would be kept all equal, and they wouldn't end up like the farm with Jones in charge. So the 7 commandments were, whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. They didn't like humans at all, and they didn't want to talk to them at all.
Whatever goes up, or whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. So they were all friends.
No animal shall wear clothes because
humans wore clothes.
Yeah.
No animal shall sleep in a bed
because the humans slept in a bed.
No animal shall drink alcohol
because that was what Jones was always doing,
and they didn't like that.
Yeah, he just wasn't very right in the head. No animal shall kill any other animal, like prosecution or murder, because they felt that no one had really the right to say that one of the animals should have died.
And all animals are equal.
Because, well, I shouldn't say because all people are equal, because people aren't equal. Like, some people are better than other people.
And some are better than others.
Yeah, some people are better than some people.
Don't go use
Just kidding. Okay, and so I guess that's not alike because humans felt that they were top dogs or whatever, and so get it, top dogs and humans. Okay. So animals felt that they should all be equal and that no one should be in charge of the others. And so they made these commandments, and one of the commandments, like it said, was not to wear clothes. But there's this horse, Molly,
who wore ribbons, and they considered that clothing, but she didn't care. She wanted her ribbons. She was like the only girl on the farm.
Yeah, and the only girl horse. But then she wasn't the only girl horse, but she was white horse, and she felt like she was all special or whatever. And so, yeah, and then she just left because she couldn't wear ribbons on that farm. So she left to Pilkington's farm, I think. And then, which was a neighboring farm. And Frederick was the other farm. So, And then, I don't remember if it was before or after Molly leaving, but Jones tries to take his farm back. But
And
they weren't very happy with that.
and he lost. They still beat him, which
Yeah.
was a no-brainer because they beat him the first time. You're gonna beat him again.
Yeah, they pretty much won. But in history, that would have been the Russian Civil War, which they took over and they won. The animals did. So, yeah, and then, but all while this was going on, Napoleon, at first when they started doing it, Napoleon was doing other plans to try to take over Snowball and the whole farm.
Yeah.
And he like, what's Napoleon? What did Napoleon do?
Yeah.
He took the milk first of all. He took the cow's milk.
Because he said that the pigs needed it to stay strong, but if you're all equal, shouldn't you all stay strong?
But they said, like, you don't want Jones to come back or whatever.
So then they all gave in and gave him all the milk.
And then so, anyways, then Napoleon also, he took one of the dog's puppies.
No, not just one. They took the whole...
Well, they took all the dog's puppies.
Yeah.
If a dog had puppies, it was Napoleon took them and took care of them.
To breed them to be a special kind of army to help him with things that he needed.
So eventually, Snowball comes up with a plan to make a windmill, which should help all their work and make it easier and stuff.
More efficient, so that they're not cold during the winter as much. But Napoleon decides to pee on the plants.
Yeah, while Snowball's working on all of his stuff in one of the barns, he writes his plans all on the floor with a piece of chalk. Napoleon just goes in there. I don't know. I think I gotta pee. Yeah, right on the plans. No, not cool.
That's so mean and so nasty.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Ugh, I would be so upset with him.
Yeah, I'm sure he was for a very long time.
And so when it finally comes to take a vote about the windmill, Napoleon and Snowball, they go in there and they call a meeting. And Napoleon shows up with all of his evil dogs. All the evil puppies he raised to be mean and vicious and hate everybody.
I would hate to have to be bred just to do that.
I know, right? If I'm a dog, I want to be bred to go chase things, not to go eat things, right?
Yeah.
And so the Napoleon shows up with all of his mean little dogs, and he runs out Snowball, actually. So Snowball's gone. He's freaking terrified. If I was chased by dogs. just like if I was Jones and I got chased out by all those animals, I would not come back and start another one.
No.
I would not try to get it back. I'd be like, I'm done. You can have it.
I'll just buy a new one.
Yeah. And I'll go now.
And so then everything that went wrong after Snowball left was blamed on Snowball.
Like the windmill blew down because there were winds, and while they were trying to build it, it blew all the way down, and Napoleon said to blame Snowball for everything wrong that happened. But before that, you know how we said the commandments earlier?
Yeah.
Well, before the windmill broke down because of the winds, and they blamed Snowball, the pigs moved into the house and started sleeping in the beds.
And that's against the command.
But they had Squealer change the commandment
to sleep in bed with, that you could sleep in a bed.
If it didn't have sheets.
Yeah, but if it had sheets, then you were breaking a rule.
Yeah. No. Okay, and then and then another commandment he broke was that they're not allowed to wear clothes. But the pigs started actually wearing clothes.
Yeah, they started wearing Jones's old clothes.
They started wearing Jones's old clothes, and then actually they also another commandment was not to kill, right?
Yeah, but they killed the hens for thinking that they were traitors.
So they murdered another freaking animal. And then the next one is in history, World War II. But this is part 1. We have another video, so just a second while we set that other one up.